Parsha Vayeze 57:81. Yiratzon Delim which will reflect Kol HaCholim B'Tucham Tanya Bat Magalit Yosef Yair Ben Aviv Achava Harav Sivan Ben Sima B'Toch Kol Shach Olei Yisrael. Going back to the end of last Parsha, there's a very, very interesting sugya topic. We know that Esav despises Yaakov, and Yaakov has to leave and go out into exile. And if we look at the description of Rivka, she says that he should leave Israel as a runaway. Like we know from Lion King, when the Chavra come over to Simba and they say, run away and never return. They learned it from Rivka. She says to Yitzchak, in the name also of herself, tell our child to run away until Esav calms down. But when Yitzchak sends him, he gives a totally different reason. Not run away. He says to him, go find a wife. Go to Haran and find a wife. Two totally different reasons. One negative, one positive. But in our parsha, it gets even more complicated. It gets very complicated because the description was run away. But the pasuk starts and says, Vayeze, teaches us the Sfat Emet, that the choice of word of Vayeze should have been Vayivrach, that he was running away. Vayivrach means necessity. He needed to. Vayeze, says the Sfat Emet, means that it's a choice. And the idea was that we don't even know why he left. It says Vayeze Yaakov mi Beersheva vayelech Harana. It doesn't give Yitzchak's reason, it doesn't give Rivka's reason, and it doesn't say Vayivrach, it says Vayeze. And so what is the story of Yaakov? He's not describing that he's going because he's looking for a wife. It doesn't seem like he's afraid of Esav. Yaakov is saying something very, very new. He's saying the only way to survive is to thrive. The only way to overcome is to have vision. The only way to excel is to see things beyond and not for what they are. So on a surface level, Yaakov was running away from Esav, yes. And on a surface level, he needed to find a wife, yes. But Yaakov says if you're living on a surface level, you will always diminish. Anyone that can't create an addition will end up becoming irrelevant. If the mitzvah we do is the mitzvah that were given to us, but we don't add an element to them, we don't add a layer to them, then we will end up resenting the mitzvah we do. If our davening at the age of 6 is the way we daven at the age of 60 or 89 like my Saba turned yesterday, then you have never ever davened in your life. We know that in Masechet Brachot it says that Rabbi Eliezer Amar said tfilato keva ein tfilato tachanunim. If you make your tefillah without layers, without additions, then it means you don't get the idea of relationships. It can't be something that's stale. It needs to be something fresh. And so Yaakov makes a statement. Vayeze. I know what my Abba said, and I know what my Ima said, and I'm going to listen. But now I'm going to make it my own. I'm going to go out of choice. And he decides to give birth to 11 children, which are close to 91% of the Jewish future, because he decided that the definition is to add. And if we're adding, then we're going to get excited. And if we're following, we're going to get bored. We're entering into Hanukkah. And we know that Beit Hillel teaches us in Masechet Shabbat, Daf Kaf Aleph, that the idea of the Neirut is Mosif Ve'olech. But the question about the sentence is if you're Mosif, then you don't need to say Holech. Just say Mosif. Every day Mosif, Mosif, Mosif. Says Beit Hillel, you don't get it. Mosif is the definition of growth. Halicha is growth. It's movement. But if you want to move, if you want to grow, if you want to affect, then you need to start adding and giving more layers to the cake. My bracha as we enter into the story of Yaakov Avinu, the story of Hanukkah, to the story of the Chashmonaim, living in a world that the highest level sometimes that people reach is complaining. Maybe if we could switch complaining with adding. Instead of complaining, this isn't the way I wanted it, add something. And the void will never become a void anymore. It will become something that enables you to feel that you're relevant, to feel that you're building. And then we can all become like Yaakov, people that really have an effect on 91% Bezrat Hashem of Am Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom.